The Red Luffy leader when it came out was pretty good, but now that we have new cards from EBO2 and OP11, was there any upgrades? Well, let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Mobby here, and today I'm going to be going over this new deck profile for this Red Luffy that came out in Star Deck 21. Make sure to like and subscribe, it really helps out the channel. I upload daily duels and deck profiles for different anime TCGs. Alright guys, here we go. This is going to be a full video breakdown. However, if you just want the deck profile and list, pause the video, head on over to my website mobbytcg.com. There you can get all of the deck profiles as well as proxies for cards that aren't even out in English yet that I make myself. Alright. Let's talk about this. So yes, there has been some changes since I last put out this deck profile. If you guys want to see my initial run, which, you know, comes out with just OP10, you can do that, link down below. This one is much more balanced, I would say, with a little bit more late game than usual. So let's talk about every single card and let's go for it. Basically, the game plan here is mostly every card that you play down, you're going to want to rush the opponent. There's a bunch of really great support cards in here that give your leader Dawn in order to move Dawn around on your characters to completely destroy their life. So let's talk about it, starting with this Luffy. This is from ST21, Red Leader, 5,000 power and 5 life. 4 Emperors and Straw Hat. With 1 Dawn attached, you can activate your main, so you can use this before you even attack, which gives you some great versatility. Give up to 2 Arrested Dawn to one of your characters. That's good. That's really good because it's just 2 to 1. You can't really split it, but it allows you to have, you know, it allows them to activate some abilities with Dawn attached to them and allows them to have just much more punch when attacking other characters or leaders. Next off, we have Bad Manners Kick Course. This is from OP04. It costs 0 to counter. Trash 1 card from your hand. There's a decent amount of bricks in here, but not, you know, too many. Add up to one of your leaders or characters. Gains 3,000 power during the battle, which is good. If you have, like, I would say 9 plus bricks, you want to add maybe 1 for 5 of each. We have 3 in this deck. The trigger here is give up to one of your opponent's leaders or characters negative 3,000, which if it pops off when you need it, it's actually a pretty great trigger. So we're running 3 of these. Next off, we have these Bonnies. This is from ST21. This is a common 130. This is one of your bricks in your hand. With 2 Dawn attached, on KO, you can draw 1 card. So basically, you want to see this on turn 1. If you see anything past turn 1, it's going to be really rough to throw it out. There's no counter here. You only want it to be on the board for your leader ability. Basically, you throw it out on turn 1. Then hopefully, you can give it 2 Dawn the next turn. By playing a 3 cost, and then like there's a 3 cost that gives a Dawn to your leader, so that's probably the best play. You throw us out, and then on your next turn you give Dawn to Luffy. Luffy gets Dawn to Bonnie. Bonnie attacks for hopefully 5 or more. Then if your opponent destroys them, which they most likely will, it's taking away attack from you, so you don't have to worry about it, and you get the draw 1 card. So that is the role that this Bonnie plays in the deck. Running 4 of these. Your other 4 cards that you want to play if you don't get these Bonnies are going to be these Namis. 1-2-1 on play. Look at the top 5, reveal 1 Straw Hat, and then put the rest to your you put the rest on the bottom of the deck. There's a lot of great Straw Hats in here. If you don't have a lot of 2Ks, grab some 2Ks, but basically you want your 4 and 5 cost. You have a 7 in the deck, but it's not a Straw Hat you can grab, so it's just your basic searcher. So these are your early games as well as this one. This is another great support card. So this is from ST21 Nami 111. Activate main once per turn. Give a rested Dawn to your leader or characters. This is such a good support card for the deck. There's only Nami in here. The other Nami. Then you have the 7 cost Edward Newgate that actually gives Dawn to your leader. So your opponent has to do something about this, otherwise you're going to get that free benefit of giving a Rested Dawn to your leader, who then gives 2 other Rested Dawn to another character. So this is a great support card. I would say if you don't want to run too many of these Bonnies, definitely add more of these Namis or the 3-drop Namis coming up. Next, we have the Sanji here. This is first of your 2Ks. 2-3-2 on play. Select up to one of your Straw Hats with 6,000 power or more. Then your character, if this character attacks, your opponent cannot activate blocker. Basically, it's a much more expensive Diable Jambe, but you cannot use it on your leader. It can only be used on other characters. However, it's probably still really good to put in your deck other than Diable Jambe, because you want bodies, right? So this and 2Ks, right? So we have this card and some other ones to help you get through some defenses here. So this is a really great card. Also from ST21, if I didn't mention that yet, for these. Now we have some more 2Ks, more Sanjis from OP11. 2/3/2, activate main once per turn. You can add one card from your life to your hand. This character gains 2,000, making it a 5,000. Then you give this up to 2 Rested Dons, making it a 7,000. Unfortunately, it is not a rusher. I think it goes really well in like the red Sanji deck from PRBO1, but this one's okay. It's a searching card. You might put on the board, most likely not. It's going to be in your hand for the most part as a 2K. Now we have Chopper. This is from EBO1. 3/4/1, has an 8 blocker with 2 Dawn, then attacking. This is a card that benefits from having Dawn, so your leader combos with this. Give up to one of your opponent's characters negative 3,000, making it easier to KO. Really good. This also combos with the 7-drop Edward Newgate on the field as well. So if you can have this on the board before that Newgate comes out, that's super powerful, like really good. Because you can lower somebody by 3,000, and you can use Edward Newgate to KO a 5,000 or less, making it so you can KO a 8,000 character on the turn that you have this on the board, and you throw out in Edward Newgate. So powerful. Great combo. And it's a blocker too, so 4,000 here. Now for Sanji, this is from OP10, 3/3/1. During your turn, this character gains 3,000, making it a 6,000 attacker. However, on your turn, it's going to be 3,000, but if it's KO'd, you get to draw 1 card. If it gets bottom decked or just simply trash, you don't get to get anything. But for the most part, it's good. Once again, it's another card that your opponent wants to remove right away because you get a lot of benefits for it being on the board. The Bonnie on the board, you know, it's just a really cheap attacker. With this one on the board, it's going to be 6,000. That's really good. Your opponent probably just wants to destroy this. So hopefully you can get this out and it just gets regular KO'd. Now you have the Zoros, 3/5/0, has an 8 rush. OP01, nothing special here. There is a way you can summon it from your hand for free, but unfortunately it's going to be on your opponent's turn. There's nothing special in this deck with it. It's just rush when you can with it. You can also use it to close out games. Now for your other support card here, we have Nami from ST21, 3/1 activate main once per turn. Give up to 2 Arrested Dons to a leader or character. This is great. You usually only want to put 2 Dawn on your leader because your leader will give 2 Dawn to another character. Unless you don't have 4 total Rested Dawn to give, then you would probably give this to a character. But basically, yeah, if you have 4 Dawn, this is one of those cards, like I said, if you have Bonnie on your first turn, you Bonnie going first with 1 Dawn, then you play this Nami on your turn 2. Then you would, for 3 Dawn, 2 of your Rested Dawn goes, give up to 2, so you put 1 Dawn on Luffy, and then Luffy gives up to 2 Rested Dawn, which is the 2 left over, that you put on Bonnie to attack. So that's your best case scenario with these 2 cards. It's put this on the field, support card for life, hopefully, and then 5,000 attack. If your opponent attacks into it next turn, you get a free card off of it, a free attack, and you get to put another card on Luffy, another Dawn, making a 6,000 attacker, etc. So great card. Running 3 of these. So these and these other Namis, you want to find these. These are really, really good for the deck. Okay, now Kid and Killer. This is from EB01. 4/5/0 has an 8 rush. When attacking, if your opponent has 2 or less life, this character gains 2,000 power, making it a 7,000 attacker. Not searchable, but Kid and Killer in a deck that's aggressive like this, it's good. You can still use this. It doesn't have to be a Straw Hat character for you to add any Dawn to it. So you can go ahead and, add a Dawn to Luffy, attack for whatever, give 2 for this to make it a 9,000 attacker for 4 Dawn. 9,000 attacker, that's crazy. Now, for another cool card from ST21, this is a Zoro 4/5/1. With 2 Dawn, this character gains rush. Otherwise, you're going to be waiting next turn to attack. So yeah, another card would, after the turn that you play Nami, you might play this one too to get that rush. On KO, play 1 red character with 6,000 power or less other than Zoro. So you can play, for example, these Kid and Killers, pretty much almost everything in the deck, except for your Edward Newgates you can play from your hand. If you end up playing something like Kid and Killer though, unfortunately it's going to have like just 5,000 power, but it's replacing itself. So your opponent might not want to attack you at all, and it's pretty good for a 1 counter here. Running forward these. Next off, the last of your 2Ks is going to be Chopper from OP10. 4/4/2 has an 8 blocker for 4,000. However, on your opponent's turn, it becomes a 2000, making it a 6000 blocker. You will most likely play this if you have nothing in your hand. It's definitely better than playing that other Sanji. 6000 is pretty good. But yeah, it's mostly a 2K, but it can be played for sure. Next off, for your late games, this is new Luffy from ST21. 560 has an 8 rush for 6000. When attacking, give up to arrested Don to a leader or another character. Once again, most likely going to be giving it to your leader in order to give 2 more Don to someone else. Now, this is when attacking, so you have to attack first before you can give this to him, which means during the same turn, this leader cannot use the ability to give him the rest of Don that would give him to him, if that makes any sense. But by the time you play this on turn 5, you're most likely on turn 5 with Don 5, you should have other characters on the board that you can hopefully give those Don to do some damage to. It's a great card. Every single turn it enables you to give your leader a rested Don. So you have these Luffys, really good. Now for the final card of the deck, it's gonna be these Edward Newgates. So these are really cool. This is from ST15 780. On play, give a rested Don to your leader or character. A really good, great combo here. Activate main, rest this character, KO a character 5000 power or less. The turn that you play this, 7, most likely you're gonna have a 5000 power or less. And we talked about this earlier, but it combos really well if you already have a Chopper on the board. You have Chopper on the board, you play Newgate, arrested Don, go to Luffy. Luffy can attack for 6000 or do whatever. Then give 2 Don to Chopper. Chopper then attacks for 6000, giving somebody negative 3000. Up to so you can KO up to an 8000. Then the turn that this comes out, you can KO that. So very, very powerful play. You get multiple attacks out and you get to KO something that's really, really good. Okay, so that is the deck, guys. It's all about rushing and just moving Don around. Not everything's a straw hat, and depending on what you prefer, you might end up messing with some ratios. Like if you want to go more top heavy, I recommend removing all 4 Bonnies, maybe adding 1 or 2 more Newgates, and then adding more of these Namis or the other 3-drop Namis because they're really good. So that's the deck. All right, so late game Newgate, very powerful. These are your rushing decks. You really good 2Ks, might play them, most likely not. Great card to leave on the board. It really annoys your opponent because they're like, do I keep it on the board or do I attack it and hope maybe something even stronger is gonna come out. Kin Killer is good for attacking really quick, ending the game. These Namis are amazing supports, moving Don around. These Zoras are just staples in a lot of red straw hat decks that rush. These Sanjis are good for early game and it replaces itself on KO. These Choppers are great blockers and they can attack as well as lowering the power for attacking. Sanjis mostly just filler 2Ks. These other Sanjis, 4 of them, they can act as a pseudo Diablo, what's it called, Diablo Jambe. And these Namis as well, 1 cost Namis for moving Don around as well. These are Namis for searching. And these are Jewelry Bonnies for early game attacking as well, which most likely these would be the ones you get rid of right away if you were to do so. And then finally, these Bad Manners Kick Course. I have 3, but might as well run 2, right? How many dead cards do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. 4. Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, I think 3 is pretty good here. So that's it, guys. That's the thing. If you guys have any suggestions of what would you add or what you would remove, let me know down below. More decks coming. Make sure to head over to my website if you guys want to see more deck profiles and, of course, get these proxies for yourself. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.